Oh my gosh. That went live fast this time.
We are live.
And we are crooked?
Are we crooked? We're crooked. Maybe the camera's crooked. Maybe it's not us.
Maybe we're just so stoned on 420 that we think we're crooked. Oh, hold on, guys.
It's 424.
It's 420.
420.
You get it? 420. There should be a rally today, but nobody's allowed to go outside yet.
Yeah, it's April, so it's 4.
Jeez.
2420.
42420. 42420.
This is the entire show.
424. It's like a song that never ends. What's going on, guys? Happy 420 squared. I don't know if anybody else has called it that, but I feel like I'm owning it. 420 squared. And we're all still in quarantine. But good news. A lot of states, I hear, are letting businesses back open. We'll see what happens moving forward.
Some hit and miss. I guess we'll see if it sticks.
The cannabis dispensaries have stayed open and are still open, so that's an absolutely positive thing. And what I think is even more positive about what happened with cannabis through this entire pandemic is the fact that it was deemed essential
during a crisis
by all the states that have legal cannabis access, which, by the way, is more than 2/3 of the states that have legal cannabis access, which means if we're going on democracy rules, that means cannabis wins. So just, awesome point moving forward for anybody, for NORML, for ASA, for SSDP.
Nice talking point.
Yeah, great talking point. Way easy to make the case for cannabis legalization moving forward. I think that, and there were no reports of people going crazy on the marijuanas during the pandemic.
I didn't hear of any overdoses from marijuana while everyone was in quarantine. I didn't hear about anyone going crazy and eating someone's face.
Me either. I missed all of those crazy reports.
Marijuanas?
Oh, do we have the marijuanas?
For 420.
For 420. And it's 4:02 right now.
Oh,
in the
man.
Time zone
it's
that we're
gonna
sitting
be
at.
420 cubed.
It's going to 420
Cubed.
cubed? Is it cubed?
Yeah, it's the power of 3 is cubed. That's math.
Yeah, math.
Go science!
So are you guys, hopefully you had work today, and I would never be saying that otherwise. But if you didn't have work today, and you've been home all day, I don't care if you're East Coast or Mountain or Central Time, you get to spend 420 at 420 with G.I. Mary, Jane, and Zig. We've been hitting the old bag a little bit.
We've been hitting the 420.
We've been hitting the 424. And there's all sorts of reason to celebrate. Like I said, we've got, the reality hit me this morning. And I think I mentioned it in a couple of live broadcasts before, that we've got the perfect case for ending prohibition moving forward. If the states can handle selling, distributing cannabis during a pandemic, during a time of emergency, then why can't we handle it in times of peace? And there's no reason for the federal government to be standing in the way of that. Trump even said during one of his little thingies, we'll talk about the bleach comment later, but a few days ago, before he lost his ever-loving mind and told people to drink bleach, he said that the states they got the reins on this. They can do whatever the hell they want to do. And if that's the case, and if the states are composing themselves perfectly fine through a pandemic with all the cannabis access in the world, there's no excuse anymore, guys. So I feel like I have to thank Corona today. I feel like I almost have to thank the ridiculous closures and over-regulations of businesses for at least proving the case for cannabis.
So Mac's in the house.
Hi, Mac.
Hi, Mac. And then Helen said, can't wait to see you, kiddo.
I can't wait till you guys get here. Helen and Pete are going to be joining us at the Garden of Freedom here. I don't know if you can see. Here, move over. Right behind us here, you can kind of see the skeleton.
Right here.
And
not her finger, mine.
Not my, his finger. Yeah, he's way more on point. The skeleton of one of the geodesic domes that Big Igloo Geodesics is bringing to the public. You can build.
You might have to squint to see it because it's far away.
It is far away, but you can bring home. You can bring home a home. You can build your own home, just you. And we're gonna have some time lapse footage on the Big Igloo Geodesics Facebook page in the near future here of just two people putting this thing up. Man.
And it can be anything. It doesn't have to be a home. It can be a greenhouse. It can be a storage shed. It can be any sort of structure that your great mind can come up with.
A greenhouse.
A greenhouse is cool.
Greenhouses are pretty cool because you can grow plants. And
it can be a jungle gym for your kids out back. It comes in all shapes and sizes.
It's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. But no, Pete and Helen are going to be joining us for the Freedom Wedding on May 1st. Adam Kokesh and his beautiful wife, Samantha Kokesh.
Sure.
Is that fair?
That's what
right
I'm
now?
Say. That's what I'm going to say.
Names, labels, whatever. We're planning to get married at the 2020 Libertarian National Convention after the fact. But we don't know what's going on with the National Convention, which means we don't know what's going on with the nomination for president on behalf of the Libertarian Party. Sources say we will know something by May 2nd in concrete detail. So I'll be keeping you guys up to date on that, whether you want to know it or not. But yeah, I'm kind of, I don't know what happened. Do you know what happened with the primary conventions for the Republican and Democrat Party?
Nope, haven't heard anything. I couldn't imagine them actually shutting that down because that's democracy.
That's the vote.
But at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised at anything that happens at this current political climate.
They're shutting like everything down. I actually
Do you want to hit the bong?
I do want to hit the bong.
I have ice in the ice catcher on my bong.
Cool story about this bong. Do you want to tell?
Sure. I travel with this beautiful bong piece, and I was on some federal land, and I had a cop that stopped me and tell me that they were going to be coming along later with dogs, and even weed was illegal, even though I was in a legal state. So I'm thinking in my head, I can fit everything in my safe, but what am I gonna do with this bong because it doesn't fit in my safe, the RV safe. So I have storage on the roof of the RV, and I threw it up there. Dogs never came. Cop was just lying.
Or maybe they were going to and he was trying to help.
Yeah, maybe.
There are some cops out there that just really, really need that paycheck, and maybe they weren't hiring at the post office, so they got a police officer job instead.
So I ended up leaving that camp spot with that still in the roof rack, and I've been driving around with it up there for about a month, and it wasn't like protected in any way, shape, or form. And the other day, I climbed up there to see what was in that thing because I'd forgotten, and I found this, and it was fine. Not broken. All the bouncing around I've done.
Dude, there's been crazy amounts of...
Yeah, there's been a lot of bumping and off-roading, and it's fucking fine, and we're hitting it on 420.
420. You guys tell us what you're smoking on today. I see Jeff and Helen are still watching. Facebook tells me we've got a few other watchers, viewers, listeners. It's going to be listeners again soon. You all right there?
Nope.
Got cough to get off, right?
I guess so.
That's what they say. I don't know.
They say a lot.
I don't know. It's weird. Like, I've heard people telling me stories of, like, their neighbors in their apartment complexes flipping out. Like, and they're like, oh, dude, like, I smoke, like, all day long, and I cough, and my neighbors have never given a flying fuck to call the cops on me about this guy smoking, probably because he's coughing so much. But now they're calling... freaking, cops or the snitch hotlines in order to try to
my neighbor's coughing, come arrest him,
prevent themselves from getting corona. Man, it's crazy. Like, all you had to do, and this is what they did with prohibition to begin with. They fed fear into the hearts of Americans, right? This was a plant that we had been utilizing for textile, fuel, fucking food, recreational purposes for ever, right? And all of a sudden, a bunch of rich white dudes who had it out for the Hispanic population decided that they were going to rename this beautiful plant from cannabis to marijuana, so it sounded, marijuanas are dangerous!
Sound
so
Mexican.
The immigrants with the Mexican. That's all it was. It was like this name association, And then Reefer Madness came out, and oh my god, I can't even watch that movie.
I can. It's now I'd watch it as a joke, not as like you can't take it seriously.
You can't.
But it is complete bullshit propaganda.
But yeah, they put an entire nation in fear, and like people are legitimately scared still to this day. They don't know, and they honestly think like you can take one toke of the marijuanas and be dead. You'll die. Like that's actually a thing. They twisted reality so much, and I don't know. I can't help but point out the parallel between what we're seeing now with the fear of a very real virus that could kill you if you have a pre-existing condition, but just like the flu could kill you or anything else, and you got to get it under wraps somehow. So requesting people stay inside makes sense to me.
Ordering them to,
and if they don't, you take them to a prison where they could get exposed when they otherwise wouldn't be.
Get arrested by men without masks.
Without masks and guns on their hips, because they're there for your protection. Don't buy into this. Look, you're staying home. You stay home for the good of your community, right?
And your neighbors and your loved ones in your household because you chose it.
Not because you're forced to. Not because you're forced to. We didn't stop smoking cannabis because we were forced to. Because why am I going to put my body and my health at risk if I'm somebody who needs cannabis? Right? It's I'm not going to do it for any laws. It's just not going to be a thing. For me to be alive is better than for me to be sitting in some box unhealthy. Like, I'm a good citizen, but I can't walk because my intestines are about to explode, right? Like, it's not something I'm willing to compromise, and we shouldn't compromise right now, man.
Like a natural treatment or chemical treatment, and why is it that we can't choose?
Mercy.
Jonathan Stout said, "Hey, MJ."
What's going on, Jonathan Stout?
You didn't say hi to me, but hi anyways.
Say hi to Zig,
What's
too.
up?
Oh, come on, man. Don't be selfish.
It's so stout.
No, we're teasing. Jonathan, where are you watching from? And are you joining us in sesh today? It's 420, which is 420 squared. And I'm going to keep saying that until the sun
8 minutes
shine.
until 420, 420, 420. 420 cubed.
I'm so excited. This will never happen again. And we're all like in this times, like, you know, there's certain markers in time where you remember, you're like, oh, before 9/11, oh, before the Berlin Wall came down, right? Oh, before Vietnam, whatever. Like, these markers in time. We're living through one right now.
We're about to in 8 minutes, 7 minutes.
7 minutes. Where's the marijuanas?
Did you lose it?
I didn't lose it.
Did you lose it for 420, 420,
Look
420?
at this. It's right here in my goodie bag. Oh, I've got all sorts of other stuff in my goodie bag, and I've been sending a lot of it out. Some people got these charms, these little weed charms. A couple people got some hemp seeds so they can sow the seeds of truth in their neighborhood. I've got all sorts of like cannabis related lanyards and little thingy things. So
that's a thingy thing. Oh,
it's
what was that thingy
It's
thing?
a pop socket.
Oh, pop socket thingy thing.
It's a pop socket thingy.
Like pop
And you guys, as I've been kind of minimalizing things since, I mean, life's changed for me, for everybody. I'm going through the closet, finding all this old promotional stuff from years past. And if you keep watching, every now and then, me and Zig get a feather up our ass and decide to throw out a trivia question or some smart ass thing there. And,
Name that movie.
Name that movie.
Nobody guessed last video.
Yeah,
It didn't happen.
Wait, let's throw that out again. Right?
It was Golden Pony Boy, like Golden Pony Boy. It was a book and a movie.
Golden Pony
It's old
Boy.
School, so if you're new school, you won't know.
This one was a two-part question, though, because I mentioned that we were going to Phoenix, or that we went to Phoenix, which is actually eastbound and down from where we're at, and that got me excited, too.
Eastbound and down.
Eastbound and down, loaded up and trucking.
What a lot, lizard.
I wish... Oh, I can't say the name of the movie, because that's the two-part question, so say it again.
Golden Pony Boy.
Golden Pony Boy and Eastbound and Down. Whoever can tell me, Zig, what movies, songs, what in pop culture those things came from. First one to pop it in the comments gets a complimentary bag of hemp seeds from Cloverleaf Farms from my sister from another mister up in Wisconsin. Miss Marie Hemp. She actually helped me found the Platoon 420 page, which I am going to be focusing on again come May.
Quite soon.
Quite soon. Quite soon.
May is like a week away.
May is like a week away. And you know what sucks is there's all sorts of weed arrests happening again.
Yeah, things are quieting down from Corona, and they're picking up for weed arrests.
Do we have any answers to that? Eastbound and down?
I don't know
the
if
other
we've
party
gotten
boy?
that. I think there's a delay, so we'll see. Not
see.
so far.
Until then, I'm going to hit the bowl again. It's 4:15 right now. Right? Yeah, 4:15. We've got 5 minutes until 4:24.
5 minutes.
20
Max
at
said
4:20.
that he needs to hit a dab with you guys at 4:20, 4:20,
Well,
4:20.
Mac, come on out, man. Mac's right there. Mac's our neighbor
Bring a
here
chair.
at the Garden of Freedom.
You can see the geodesic domes that are built. One of them's kind of going into the tree. Ew. Okay, right around here.
The things and stuff.
Right, you see.
Definitely go to Big Igloo Geodesic Domes. It's on Facebook. I'll post the link in a second. Actually, we got 5 minutes. I can do it right now. But you guys, I don't know. Like, I got all emotional and like girl and stuff because the reality of the fact that I'm going to be building my first house with my bare hands, that feels so motherfucking good, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to be breaking my back over it either. I'm going to be repurposing things that otherwise would be thrown away, right? I'm going to be utilizing minimal electricity because they are built in a way that's perfect for the climate that we're currently living in. And, you know, you can adjust it to your climate.
Yeah, there's a lot of energy consumption when you build it for the climate that you're in. Then you don't have to use a lot of energy to heat or cool your home.
Bring a chair,
Here comes Mac. I'm going to hack this name up. Michaela?
That's my girl.
Michaela?
That's my girl,
Is
Michaela.
that Michaela? Okay.
She has come out and soldiered in D.C.
So sorry. I would never guess Michaela.
I think. I don't know if I'm saying. What?
She says, hey, cuz.
Hi, baby. Hi. I
And
hope
she
we
says,
get back.
yes, great idea. Take back your natural resources.
That's it.
Sorry.
There's all this stuff around. Like, for instance, the climate that we're in right now, like, it's beautiful right now. It's like 68 in the shade.
Yeah, in the shade. It's
awesome.
nice out today.
There's so much wind, like, you can build, like, within the house little holes that the wind will blow through and turn cold. It's self-cooled, self-heated. There's going to be a greenhouse going up. There's going to be a spa area going up. No lie. Like,
a spa
actually,
in the desert.
I want to have a cannabis activist retreat out here.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, man. Like, and real soon, too. Oh, I need to brainstorm that. We can build a dome together. You know, team building
Maybe
exercise.
in June, because we got plans for May, so maybe June.
Yeah, I like that. You guys definitely keep
Hot
your
box
eye.
a fucking dome.
Yeah.
Hot box of
It
igloo.
could be done.
So who wants to come to
Everybody.
Garden of Freedom and have an cannabis activist camping
Cannabis activist
thing,
retreat, man.
retreat?
We
That'd
all
be
need to
cool.
reset, dude. We read so much bad news. It drives us nuts. I know me for one. Like, I've got to just like shed off the negativity every now and then. Hold on, we've got a glare.
Just meditate it away.
Let's scooch up a little so Matt can scooch up a little.
Oh, Max in the sun, isn't
And
it?
then we've got
Nice.
2 minutes.
Sounds nice, though.
The sun does feel nice. But we want to make sure everybody can see your awesome
I gotta
face.
shine off my fucking forehead there, huh?
That's it. That's it. Speaking of DC, I've got my favorite weed hat on that I got from some rando kiosk on the side of the streets in DC. And that breaks my heart too. Those people aren't essential. They made all those people, like, with the kiosks and the food trucks and all that shit shut down. That is so, so, so awful, man.
Which
Yeah,
that's
just trying to
probably
support
their
the families.
entire income.
Yeah,
is
exactly.
like day to day.
They may live in those vans or in hotels, driving around in those vans for all we know. Like, people's lives have, like, legitimately been destroyed through this.
And it was unnecessary, in
It
my
was
opinion.
unnecessary.
Completely unnecessary.
Let's not talk about that. Let's get ready to hit the
So, it is
Max
1
dabbing.
minute.
I'm dabbing.
It is 16:19 or 4:19. You got a minute?
You
We
got a minute?
are going to have 420, 420, 420,
420.
I can't pass that up.
420
after that.
cubed.
420 times 3.
And you're going to hear me hit a dab, which you're going to hear that I cough every single time.
After I hit my dad.
After he does his.
You got to cough to get off, isn't it?
Oh man, I
No, I don't
die,
know
I
that.
choke,
I mean, not really, because you lose oxygen.
Almost
Like,
time.
oh, 420!
Boom.
420
There it
on
is.
424, 20.
Happy 420.
I'll hit this. There might be some on that.
Tell us what you're smoking on, you guys.
Sure. I don't know if it's
We've all had our corona tests.
every.
We just got tested at the corona clinic, so we can hit the bongs undetected. It's okay. We're good, the three of
You
us.
guys been to the Corona Clinic yet?
Have you been to your corona clinician yet? Have you had your corona test? Stop the spread. Stop it. I'm serious, even though I'm being like sarcastic. How do you not be sarcastic when the leader of our country told you to drink bleach this morning? What in the action? See that? That's what we're going to talk about now.
Poor guy.
Man.
Do you want to try to hit this? A little bit on there. I don't know. You can try.
Yeah, so you didn't know you were gonna be tuning into just
Yeah,
hearing us
what's that?
choke.
I don't know. Maybe not.
So the president didn't say to drink bleach. He said he asked the doctor who just got done saying that isopropyl alcohol and disinfectant kills it on surfaces very quickly. And the president got up there and paraphrased what he said by going, yeah, so you can treat it with light, and then you can also treat it with, disinfectant, and maybe inject it into the lungs. Like what?
Absolutely
The fuck?
ridiculous.
Adult has to ask if you can inject disinfectant into your lungs. Food for thought. The dude asked this. It happened on live national television. The
It's
leader of
actually
the
a thing.
free-ish world.
Yeah, so I wake up this morning and I'm like, let me check the old Facebook. And I start scrolling and it's like, bleach this, Lysol that, the other thing that. I'm like, what the actual fuck's going on right now? So, of course, and one of the pictures was Trump with a syringe of Lysol in his hand. And I'm just, what is this? This makes no sense. Like, am I like, I didn't eat any mushrooms the
woke
night
up to
before.
memes.
I don't know what the hell is going on. And then look, Trump, Lysol, and all of a sudden, headline. Lysol apologizes. Clorox warns people not to this, that, and the other. And I'm like, this can't be real.
Doctors are announcing not to do this.
This can't be real. Like, this has to be this is more ridiculous than prohibition.
I
Like,
love that it
this-
happened on 420.
I know. Because that means the best excuse Trump could use is he was celebrating 420 squared.
That would have been better. But
That
what
would
he
have been better.
actually ended up saying was, I was just kidding.
I was just kidding,
I was
guys.
being sarcastic.
I was just fucking kidding. No, you weren't.
Now
No, you
watch the
weren't. We all
video and
watched
see
the
how
video.
sarcastic
No,
he
you
was.
weren't. You were like, so if you're not high and you said that, we got a problem. If you are high and you said that, I got a little bit of leverage and leeway with you here, right? But not.
All that money and you couldn't afford a tutor. Just
you
saying. That's how I wake up to news these days. It's not like I get the newspaper in the morning and I'm drinking my coffee and reading through the fucking local section. No. I wake up and I open my Facebook and I start reading memes and I'm like, wait, what the fuck just happened? And I gotta go fact check this meme to see what my president tweeted or said or did. This coming from the same guy who wanted to nuke a hurricane and windmills cause cancer.
That happened. That's.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Look, I don't want to knock on the guy. He's human like the rest of us.
Cancer?
He did, yeah. I can't think of a president who hasn't said something fucking
Of
stupid.
course, and I gotta admit, like whether I like Trump or not, it's gotta be a really difficult job. It's gotta be a really difficult job. But for fuck's sake,
Oh my god.
we have an entire federal agency that we fund with our tax dollars to deal specifically with people putting disinfectant in their body or other poisons. It's a poison control center.
It's on the
There's
back.
a hotline. It's on the bottle itself.
Mr. Yuck, we all got the stickers
And-
from kindergarten, remember?
The commander-in-chief of said federal agency suggested that could be a cure.
Oh my
And did you hear the Onion actually predicted it a month ago?
Oh yeah, you found that.
No shit. I'll see if I can post it in the comments. But a month ago, the Onion posted that a guy bought one of each disinfectants at the store just in case Trump announced that it was the cure.
Now, the Onion is a satirical website.
Yeah, it's all like fake news, but funny.
Who don't know?
And I'm trying to find the link right now. I know I have it.
Somebody called Platoon 420 a satirical website. It's not. It is unfortunate. Like, when I say, like, peaceful citizen abducted at gunpoint for Taglight being out, that's
exactly what happened.
It's exactly to the definition what happened. Maybe it's a little bit more extreme than the fluffy victim-blaming verbiage that the regular media uses, but it's the truth. And speaking of Platoon420.com, it is still active for another month if we don't get those dues paid, but I'll make it keep working. But we're going back to the original format starting the second week of May. Only this time, instead of reporting the news solo...
I'm gonna be in there to ruin it.
My home slice. Yeah, but unfortunately, the arrests are back in the news, and I don't know. Did you see what I shared this morning from GI Mary Jane?
Was that that Canadian woman?
There was a bunch. I kind of want to save the Canadian nurse who Commander-in-Chief salute to this committee. She's a motherfucking hero right now, if you ask me. And this article makes her out to be completely the opposite, and it just goes to prove, or solidify the comment I just made about the victim blaming.
So you want to save that one?
I want to save that one. That's a good dab, Matt. What strain is that?
That was the hippie lettuce. It's
hippie lettuce concentrate. I prefer the devil's lettuce. I think I'm growing a dreadlock. Do you guys see a dreadlock in there? I think that hippie lettuce.
Side effects may include
dreadlocks.
Not giving a shit about
dreadlocks and smiles.
Spending an hour in front of your. Let's see. The Goldsboro Daily News reported this morning that, I don't know, the road pirates are at it again. The road pirates, yeah.
I love it.
The road pirates. Ken Connors reported that on Wednesday, Wayne County Sheriff's deputies conducted a traffic stop for a traffic 20 violation in the northwest part of Wayne County. I don't know what a traffic 20 violation is. I don't know if this has something to do with the stay at home or if it means that her tag light was out. But it sounds like they used some fancy word to make you think that she's like really violating some
a traffic
crazy,
20.
A traffic 20.
Not a traffic
offense.
19.
But a
20 in 2020.
Probable cause was gained to search the vehicle due to a canine open air sniff that reportedly alerted to the presence of illegal narcotics. I think we all know that, and this came out like in the 90s, didn't it? That every dollar bill has traces of like cocaine on it or something for the majority.
Not to mention, the dogs are just probable cause manufacturers. That's all the dog is. Like, whether it actually hit or not, they could just say it did and use that as probable cause.
It doesn't matter. It's an excuse to get into your possession, into your property when you're not otherwise doing anything wrong. You're just driving down the road. We're free to move about in this country. If your tag light's out or something, I can't say that I agree with the fines that we have in place. Discussion for another.
But that's not criminal.
But that's not criminal. That's you get a ticket, and you pay the damn fine, right?
Send you on your merry fucking way.
Exactly. But they sicked the dogs on this young girl. 20-year-old Harley BM.
Oh,
I'm sorry, Harley.
That's kind of funny.
I didn't read it until now. Harley, baby. They're really fucking with you in this article, and this just goes.
It's not fair.
It's not
but it
fair.
is funny.
But it is funny. Harley BM of West Goldsboro was arrested. She faces charges including maintaining a vehicle dwelling for the use of a controlled substance and possession with intent to sell and deliver marijuana. Both are felonies. She received a $5,000 unsecured bond and was turned over to the Wayne County Jail, which means she's still being held hostage for whatever the fuck a traffic 20 violation is. Tag light, I don't know. It's not violent. I can pretty much guarantee you.
I could imagine them naming a violent crime traffic anything.
Exactly. Ooh. Doesn't say how much was found. You can find this link, of course, on the G.I. Mary Jane Facebook page. We're going to get back to reporting these from Platoon 420 in the actual language that they should be reported in. I mean, this girl was stalked in the middle of the night by a man, likely, or two, in their vehicles, and they stopped her, not for causing any damage, not for doing any harm to anybody else, not for creating any victims, not for acting in an unruly manner, just for, a Chapter 20 violation.
Traffic?
Chapter 20. A Chapter 20 traffic violation. So, that must be really scary.
Man, how many chapters do they have?
I don't know. And then they assault this girl by putting their hands on her, putting her in handcuffs, throwing her in a cage. She didn't do anything to harm anybody. There was no violence or force involved until the police showed up. And this is the problem we have, is often things are peaceful. There's no problems. And then the badge shows up to save you. But next thing you know, there's shots being fired, or voices being raised, or things being thrown, or cars being chased.
And keep this in mind, when the police are responding and transporting these criminals who've created no victims, there are victims being created. Meanwhile, they're spending an hour and a half processing this poor girl while they could have been protecting people. Doing what they ought to be doing, is protect and serve.
Yeah, and even to you people who, don't agree with smoking marijuanas, that's fine. Like, do you know how much money was just spent of their taxpayer dollars to go after that? Everybody knows that, reefer heads aren't killing people. They may just think they're like dirty hippies or something. I think at this point, I don't think anybody would say that somebody who habitually smokes marijuana is a danger. They might just call them lazy or whatever. But do you deserve to get thrown in a cage for being a lazy pothead stoner? You didn't hurt anybody. Does that mean that you... None of this makes sense. And do you want to be spending, to you, the naysayer who says weed's bad, do you want to be spending tens of thousands of dollars per person?
Not to mention whatever health care that they're going to have, especially if they get corona, now that they're in a dense populated little space.
Right, we got a pandemic going on, and cannabis has been deemed essential, yet this poor girl is sitting in jail for
an essential thing in another state.
And it doesn't even say how much she had on her. I highly doubt it was a large amount. Otherwise, if it was a large amount, they'd be blasting it all over the headlines. They would have been
bragging about it.
And making this poor girl...
Michaela asked what was the purpose of the canine. Like I said earlier, it was to manufacture probable cause. Because if they ask, can we search your vehicle, and you say no, they don't need your permission to have a dog sniff it. They don't need probable cause to have a dog sniff it. Then, whether the dog actually hit or not, they can just say it did and search your vehicle. So, they could enter your property and just rifle through your stuff.
It's a your word against their situation right there on the side of the road without a judge present to be that non-biased party involved in the situation.
And a judge is a lawyer. They can tell you if this is legal or not. A cop is not. They're not required to be lawyers.
It's been a mess. And it's picking back up again. This one's kind of funny because they're fucking with the Marlboro man.
Oh no. Didn't he die? Did he die again?
I don't think he died again. He got arrested for weed.
That's awesome. Well done, man.
Doesn't Marlboro make a weed cigarette?
No, that was a meme.
Was it?
That would be really cool, though, wouldn't it?
That would be really
cool.
I heard
yeah, those like packs with the green leaf on it. Yeah, the Marlboro packs. One day, come on, Marlboro, stop lobbying against it. We need your help so you can profit.
This is a man in Marlboro, Massachusetts, though. Be serious. Who's now facing his third OUI, which I believe stands for operating under the influence instead of driving under the influence. After another arrest. So this comes from the Metro News Daily. Norman Miller says,
"Oh shit! Here comes trouble."
Hey, man.
Yo.
You're breaking
Jim
up
Freedom
the
in the house. How's it
That's
going?
my old bro.
Jim's been working on the domes back there tirelessly with Adam.
We're splitting rocks
You're splitting rocks?
Did that one ever split?
I miss all
We're
the
splitting
fun.
them boulders. We got a badass table and 4 seats made out of boulders. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
So check it out,
You guys ever
Big
split that big
Igloo
one?
Geodesics.
Yeah.
We split a bunch of them
Right on.
How'd you split them?
with the rock splitter. We drilled in the holes. I got video I'll be posting to the site or whatever.
Oh
yeah.
my God.
Drilled holes in the thing, and then you put wedges in it and slam it with a sledgehammer till it makes little cracks, and you just keep cracking at it till it cracks, and then.
Oh my God, that sounds so fun. That's gonna be like one of those pleasure, whatever they called. Satisfying.
Dude, one
Or
of
like
them
you
we
just watch
split
them
open,
cut
it had
Play-Doh
dirt in
on
it.
Facebook or something.
Really?
Dirt and
you can't
and
stop
roots
watching.
in the middle of the rock. It was crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
That's incredible, man. That's
Yeah, it was fun.
incredible.
That's a trip.
That's it. Jim, we're packing the bowl again. We're going to save that story
Hey, man, you know all
because
those roots were?
this is not the war room.
no,
This is
you're
30
right.
days of 420. On
30
420,
days of
420.
Try to grow them.
And
try
we
to,
can stop talking about the news for right now for a minute because it bums me out, man.
But if you want to know more about that article, go check it out.
More articles about like big
I want
weed
to share this
arrests
one right
and,
there. You want to grab it? So I got another chair.
do you know statistically? Take a guess. How many people get arrested for weed every day? Just like put a number on it.
I bet it's higher than I want it to be. Let's go with like 1,000.
Okay, I need to do the math because I know how many it is per second. It's 1 every 50 seconds.
1 every 50 seconds.
Yeah.
Well, 60 times 60 times. Wait.
What?
Yeah.
24 times
60 seconds is a minute. So,
60.
yeah. 60 times 4.
This ain't the math channel.
You can tell me.
It's a stoner channel, bro.
You can tell me.
We'll get back to you on
I can't do
that.
the
We
math
should have asked
right
this.
You know what,
We should have done this before we got
I've
stoned.
actually done a lot of math, but I was usually sober for it.
That's what I'm saying.
1 every 50 seconds, bro. 2/3 of the country have legal weed, and 1 person every 50 seconds is getting put in fucking handcuffs. For like,
Asinine.
For this plant.
I always thought that was one of the biggest and most obvious to freedom ever. That's like, how can you even pretend that we have freedom when that's the case? You know what I mean?
yeah, there's
And
not.
Bill Hicks said it's not a war on drugs, it's a war on personal
War on
freedom.
people.
It's a war on personal freedom.
It's absolutely what it is, especially with like all the racial disparity in the arrests. Like, black population's like 3% or 6%, I think 12. I don't. It's a very very small percentage of the population, but the arrests it's like 60%.
And that's not because they commit crimes at a higher rate than white people.
No,
They
it's not
don't.
because black people
That's a
smoke
nice
more weed
bone,
than
man.
white
I like
people. It's not a thing. Like
They
people
just-
smoke
It's
weed
good, man.
across all cultures and creeds and religious. It's a human thing. Weeds.
Ended up being oppressive to all of us, but especially our minority American friends.
It's disgusting to me. It's
It's
disgusting to me. It's still being used as an excuse to keep people in the system, keep an
Cover
eye
the-
on
And to
keep
get
them
money.
enslaved
Right on the
and
fucking
take their
thing.
money, and that's all there is to it.
bad.
Hang tight.
You
We
got
got
the
munchies
munchies.
out for today.
Hey, you want any more?
That shit was tripping. I thought I lost it.
What time is it? It is, 4:20, 38.
420, 38.
424,
4:20, 4:20
438.
at 16:38.
Man, you guys, it's just a party today. I don't have anything to necessarily like.
Bitch
Those were
about,
good.
hand-
but please don't go putting Lysol in a syringe and injecting it into your
No
lungs.
disinfectant.
It's gonna be good. You're gonna die, and you're probably gonna fucking deserve it.
I would advocate for you putting weed in your bowl and inhaling that into your lungs.
But
That's
don't
Little
eat that
CBD on it.
either.
Don't inject that either. Has anybody been dumb enough to do that though?
Maybe with wax.
I was gonna say there's some kind
I
of
don't know.
concentrate you might.
But
be
did
able
they
to-
die? I guess not.
But did you die?
I mean, we would've
chemists
known
could
about
probably
it,
make
right?
you something to do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that either.
I wonder if they have already. Hey, if you're a chemist and you've done that already, contact me on YouTube.
Yeah.
I'll try that.
your YouTube. He does have a YouTube.
Yeah, tell him where to find you, Mac.
It's MadMac91775. MADMAC 91775.
Nice.
And
Yeah,
does Jim
me.
Freedom have one?
Jim Freedom is Jim Freedom. Simple as that. It's got a picture of my beautiful ugly.
did
mother.
offer
How do you spell that? G-Y-M?
Jim Freedom, man. We need to liberate the gyms right now, dude. They're all
I guess
closed.
I can make a custom
Yeah,
URL
hashtag
now that I got
essential.
1,000 subscribers.
I worked out.
Hashtag essential. I need to get lit and fit
Yeah,
again. Still
I'll
lit.
look into that.
Not really fit
You're
anymore.
still fit.
Remember, come subscribe to me because tomorrow morning, if you're like early risers, we're gonna be doing wake up bakes in the morning.
Yeah, hit subscribe. MadMac91775.
That's only if you get up at 5:36 in the morning. Though.
You just passed 1,000 subscribers, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
But you can play it at any time during the day, right?
Yeah, you can.
So if you wake up late, just hit play and
You'll see
smoke
it.
with them afterwards.
I travel
Okay.
everywhere, man. No, not everywhere.
Yeah, Mac
I've been
travels and he
traveling.
shares all of his traveling adventures with
I like
everybody.
doing. So far, it's been long stays. Like Slap City for like almost a year. Now then here for I'm sure a couple months, few months.
So Amber Lee said hiya. Hi Amber. Amber's a really good friend of mine. Love you, dude. Donnie Smith, fuck the law with a kitty cat, I believe.
Kitty cat.
Fuck the law of the kitty cat. Man, do you know how many dogs cops kill every year?
I know. Huh?
It's ridiculous. I don't even want to look up the
No
number.
reason.
Including their own.
How is a cop like a box of chocolates?
You kill your dog.
Might
Might
kill your dog.
It's not even funny because it's true. But yeah, I mean,
He raided me in Slap City.
fuck the regulations. I don't even want to say fuck the police anymore. I want to go deeper than that behind what the problem is that's forcing them to be the way that they are.
Fuck
Not
the
the community
regulations.
service, or not the community servants that they were where they were intended to be, right?
But they signed up for me.
Right, that they signed up to be, to serve and protect their communities. They're just turning into like these militarized, crazy, egotistical, power-hungry arrest. It's insane, and I'm like, I mean, yeah, I'm mad. I'm not changing my view, but I'd rather strike at the root of the problem
Fuck the law that they enforce.
than the branches that are, coming out. So we really need to focus on the regulation. I think the best way for anybody to do that is to email your congressman. Google it.
Call
Who's
them.
my state congressman, right?
Or
Call them.
dude, Facebook me. I will look it up for you. I
Fill the
promise. So
Congress-
long as you're gonna email them and send them an email. Let them know.
If you
we
go
can
to
get
normal,
everybody to fill the congressman's voicemails like every day, that's what the shit that annoys them into doing what we tell them.
you just tell them that this is what you want. Like it's your job, even more so than voting, is continued communication with your congressman. If there's something going on that you like, you need to tell them. There's something going on that is really fucking up your world, killing your neighbors and getting them locked up and causing all this chaos that you don't want to have happening in your neighborhood. You gotta let them know, or they're gonna be like, well, you didn't tell me, as if they didn't freaking know. But still, I mean, don't give them the excuse to play dumb, guys. Email. We're all in quarantine right now. Get online. And I'm pretty sure that NORML.org, which is the National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws, and where I got my start in cannabis activism anyway. I think they have state-by-state lists of your representative. I don't know how well they're keeping that up to date. Honestly, I haven't checked in a while, but those guys always knock it out of the park. So I would guess it's up to date, but just send an email, man. And you know what? Do a bong hit, drink a beer, and do your thing. And get your passion out before you do it. Make sure that it's, articulated in a way that these people really understand why this is hurting you. Why this is affecting you in a negative way. Their job's to keep your community safe, comfortable. Yeah?
Yeah.
That's their fucking job. And we're the fucking bosses.
It's to protect and serve, not enforce the law. Come on now.
It's frustrating. It's really frustrating.
It is 444 on 420.
Oh my gosh.
At least over here on the West Coast.
I want to hear about your strains, though.
Yeah, no one's even told us what they're smoking. Are you guys all out of weed? What's up?
Fuck. Weed's essential. How are you out of weed?
That's right. It's my medicine. I need it.
Oh,
Yeah, it's medicinal for a lot
because
of
the
folks.
economy was put to a screeching halt and everybody's suffering right now.
Maybe. people are spending their money on beans and rice and toilet paper, and which is completely okay. Those things are essential too.
Gotta eat.
That's like my favorite hobby is eating, I think. And sleeping.
I think so. We've been doing a lot of building here, and we decided to just stop so that we don't have to spend those green cotton rectangles as much as normal. Trying to get ready for the reality that things may never be the same. But look, at the end of the day, if you're shitting in a hole next to your tent, but there's peace in your heart, you're winning, right? If you're living in a mansion in the Hollywood Hills and you're stressed out and you're angry and you're hateful, you lost. So now's a good time, since everybody's home, to do some inner reflection and reprioritize what's important to you and hang on to those things moving forward and do everything you do for those things moving forward. There's always other resources. This might be currency one day. They're fucking delicious.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Nothing.
Mm.
Okay.
Did you guys hear about that group that went to that cop's house? There was, I think it was for the lady that was arrested at the park. You heard about that?
Yeah.
Well, a bunch of people went to the officer's house that actually did it, and they were all standing, and the guy that was heading it up was like, make sure nobody steps foot on his lawn or his property, but we're here to let him know that we are not okay with what he did,
Yeah.
Good.
It was pretty cool.
I'm not telling
That's
you
a legal
protest.
protest. He's
Right,
a government agent.
He shouldn't be acting like that.
He represents the government. He arrested somebody that violated every part of the First Amendment, and they went and protested on his, not on his property, but right on the edge of it, public property. And that's how you'd handle it. That's a great idea.
You can do that. We can do that about our cannabis rights. There's no reason to be mad about it. I mean, well, there is. There's a lot of reason to be mad about it. But
yeah, go protest that cop's house. The one that arrested that guy for cannabis.
that's it. The one that arrested your buddy for doing nothing but driving down the road with a busted taillight and a spliff in his ashtray. Go tell him you're not going to take it anymore. We're not going to. No, seriously, though. I don't want to act silly and diminish the seriousness. No, I mean, you can do that.
Then
And
go
if-
protest the judge that found him guilty.
Exactly. And if we consistently do that and let them know that we're not going to accept the abduction of our neighbors and our brothers and our sisters and our daughters and sons anymore by force, man. You're being peaceful.
Under the threat of violence.
And everybody will argue, well, they're not always violent when they lock you up. No. If you tell them that you don't want to go with them because you weren't doing anything wrong, what are they going to do to you?
Use violence.
They're going to lay their hands on you. Taser, gun, who knows how big it
Mace.
was. Right?
Just tackling you.
Including death.
Bro, if I'm sitting in the park minding my own damn business and somebody puts their hands on me, I really, they violated my space. I have the right to defend myself at that point. Unless they're wearing... No. Hashtag not my team, man.
I don't answer questions. Can I ask why? Stop resisting. I don't answer questions.
Stop resisting.
I don't answer questions. Stop resisting, officer.
Oh, it's the truth. It's really important to be aware of your rights, and it's weird that they don't even teach our kids that in school. I didn't know that. My father was a Baltimore City police officer. He taught me my rights and what a cop can and cannot do. He did not like seeing. He didn't like bullies. He didn't give a shit what you were. He didn't like bullies, And I took for granted that people didn't even know that. The things that I knew, that you don't have to answer their questions, that you can crack your window that much as long as they can get your paperwork. You don't have to give them access to your personal space. It's not, and the laws have changed a lot since I was a kid. The dog thing wasn't a thing back in the 90s.
Probable cause machines.
Yeah, the probable cause, but no. The only probable cause should be if you're behaving in a manner that could directly hurt somebody or has directly hurt somebody. Period. I mean, what right do you have to violate my space if I haven't done anything or acted in a manner where you would be led to believe that I might be violating somebody else's space, causing a victim? And I can't believe we live in this world and
we're imprisoning victimless crimes is acceptable.
nobody sees
But
it.
during an during a crisis, they let them all out. Like, what does that tell you?
Dude, on my YouTube channel, I went to my city in Tempe, Arizona. I went to a city, they had like this thing where they had the police chief and the city mayor and everything, and like answering questions from the crowd. And my question was, is it possible for you to stop enforcing victimless crimes? Great fucking question, you know? And this fucking bitch, the police chief, literally looks me dead in the face and says, well, these laws are passed by the people and they're approved by the state, so I can't see any way, shape, or form that we would ever stop doing that. I'm like, well, I don't want a police chief that can't even imagine not inflicting violence on peaceful people.
No, and
You know
they're
what I
not
mean?
put in place by the people. We don't get to vote. We get to vote on the lawmakers, but we don't get to vote on the laws that they...
You know what? There are
They
sheriffs.
pass.
There are sheriffs out there who refuse to enforce laws that have to do with violating the Second Amendment. So why can't they do the same thing for laws that they feel like are unjust? We elect the sheriff,
I think
so
they
you
do.
can protest locally
That's the thing,
and let
though.
them fight with the federal government about whether weed should be legal in their county or city or neighborhood. Even.
Most of the time when you hear the sheriffs won't enforce shit, it's the city cops that are the problem, that never take that stance. You know what I mean? They'll just enforce whatever's put in front of them.
But
know.
police chief is hired.
Policy officers.
Look, man, if I worked at a pizza place and my boss was like, I need you to put this rat poisoning in the sauce
Right.
because it's what everybody's doing, and don't worry, you're not going to
to
get in trouble for it. Like, I'd quit that pizza place. I couldn't, I don't understand how so many people, and I've talked to officers that are like, I don't agree with the law. Well, then say something. Why isn't this movement of police officers speaking out? Why? Because they'll probably get hurt. That's my assumption. Is
I
there's
wonder
some
if
like
there's a
mafia
Facebook
style
group,
brotherhood.
Pro 420 police officers.
There is Harold Woodridge. Woodridge. I'm butchering your name. Is an ex-cop who walks around with T-shirts that say "Cops want to see weed legalized. Ask me why." Cops want to see heroin legalized. Ask me why. Cops want to see strippers hookers legalized. Ask me why. Who's very pro your body, your choice rights. But you know, like anything else, the mainstream media and pop culture will never highlight these things, and I'm kind of, I don't know. There should be some outcry by Hollywood too, because fuck you, Hollywood. You're all getting stoned.
They're doing a lot worse.
You're
than
doing
that.
a lot worse, and I know I don't want to judge. You're doing a lot
parties of
more than
parties
getting
and shit.
stoned, okay? And you're just letting all this like slide with all your pull and power. You make a series of movies that say fuck the police for locking us up for weed. This is bull. I mean, and you have a movement like the world actually changes. People see that like Hollywood has such an impression on the way we think and what we do in our lives. And yeah, shame on you, Hollywood, for definitely being weed advocates. Don't lie to me. Y'all got that good, and then that good, injecting Lysol and shit. Probably.
Please don't do that.
Please don't do that.
not do that.
But
shit.
yeah, Hollywood needs to step up for the nonviolent offender
I
community.
doubt anybody that watches your channel would do that.
Oh man, the memes out of this have been great though.
Yeah.
The memes have been fantastic. Thank you, you memers.
Thank you, memers. You are epic.
You're helping us laugh through the pain.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful. I posted a few. I altered one to say like CBD infused, because the weed community needs to get in on this too. Don't drink Lysol.
We shouldn't even have to tell people that.
There's reports coming out of states of like hundreds of people calling and asking if that's actually a thing. Like that. So people.
So much so that the local government had to release a statement
My
Like,
hat's off
why
to
is
you
there
people.
hundreds of people who have to call and ask? Why is there even one? And why is he the president?
We have failed.
This
We have failed. I gotta lose
should
this
not
hat.
be acceptable.
It should not be acceptable.
Oh,
It's
that's crazy.
ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And it's not just him. I can't wait. I like every election season.
Why don't they
go
get the guy
through
on like
it.
a fucking 2-minute delay? bleep, bleep, bleep. You know?
Right? They
Fuck,
should
you
put
think
him
they
in
would?
delay. And I mean, there's every year where
So many
people are
goddamn
like,
mistakes.
"Oh,
Cut
you're
'em off.
a liberal, or you're
Do
a
other
snowflake, or what are the other words they call people?" Like,
A
no,
libtard?
I don't like any of them.
No, me neither.
Y'all, I
Y'all are
don't-
free to choose who you want to support.
I haven't been a fan of any of the presidents, at least in my lifetime. Not at all. And the
Not one.
more I analyze things, the less I think we need a president. Truth be told, our state elections are so much more important in terms of how, we affect our communities and what's going on in them than
Vote local.
voting for the fucking mascot ever. That's what it is. It's a mascot. It's a guy who's supposed to speak on behalf of the country, like,
No,
for
yeah,
people,
he's
but
The
that's
face of the country.
It's so
and
much more than that.
He says
now.
yes or no to the laws that are presented to
That's
him.
all you get to do.
That's
man. That's all you get to do. This is
So stop voting in for the same congressional representatives and Senate that keep making this illegal. They're the ones who are writing the laws. The president just says yes or no.
that's it. He just says yes or no, and I don't think the presidents generally don't buck the states when they're doing.
Depends on the
shit.
president.
I guess so,
Republicans historically have been like pro states' rights.
but that's why we vote him out every 4 years, and that's why it's every 2 years with your state representatives because you got to see how he'll respond to what. Like, there's a method behind all this if you just pay attention. But the strings are being pulled. In this.
Vote third party local. Vote third party federal. Vote third party.
Don't even vote for who the fuck you agree with, man.
No,
not
vote third
who
party.
you're. Yeah, vote third party. Really. And there's dozens of them out there.
There are so many.
Dozens and dozens. I see an incredible year for the Libertarian Party. That being said, we've got like 4 more minutes before we've been running our mouth for an hour.
Oh man,
I know. I want to watch some television. What do you want to watch tonight?
we're almost done with Breaking Bad.
We are almost done with Breaking Bad.
Well, we gotta finish that other movie we didn't finish.
I just watched some cheesy ass movie on Hulu last night called Downsizing.
Downsizing?
Yeah,
What was that about?
they found a way to shrink people down to 5 inches tall because of
Why?
overpopulation.
Oh, so you're
So we
kidding.
can fit them all.
That's fucking
They can
And
feed
they,
'em all.
it's kind of corny, but they like created all these small cities. You know what I mean? But it's really crazy. Not to spoiler, but
He's that small city.
But somebody's got to stay big to make people small.
yeah,
right?
plenty of people stayed big, so they had all kinds of cool.
What
looking
happens when one of the
ways
big
that
guys
were
trips?
Yeah,
big
yo,
people.
right?
Say what?
What happens when one of the big guy trips?
What about? Well,
The-
all the small people are secured away. You know,
Well, the small
they
people-
get carried around. in this
Bullshit! I'd be
box.
breaking
Can
in
you
there
imagine
being
how long a blunt would
Godzilla.
last you being that tall, 5 inches tall? A blunt, a human-sized blunt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I want to shrink down to 5 inches and then be
Like
next
my
to my
grab-
joint.
There was a guy in
Do you
there.
know how
weed
much
would
more?
last forever.
Oh my God, weed would last forever if you
Yeah,
could
yeah,
shrink
yeah.
me down to
Well,
5 inches.
that was one of the things that was that they
This
included.
is it.
That was one of the things that they got most of the
420,
poor people to go small because for every dollar for a big person in the small world is worth $1,000.
I'm down.
So like people that had $100,000 worth were millionaires in the small world. You know what I mean?
I'm
So all
down.
these people that were having these mortgage problems and shit went into
Well,
the
we'll
small
just
world
shrink
and became
ourselves.
millionaires, and they were living all fancy in the small world.
Oh
But look, not the best part. I saw this part coming because the story is about this husband and wife that go to do it. And then they end up getting separated to go through the process. And the husband gets small and the wife chickens out.
Oh,
he
she
was
left you
pissed.
hard.
Wah wah
You
wah.
have to check out the movie for the rest of it. It was kind of cheesy, but it was funny and cool. I like weird shit.
I dig it. I just want an ounce of weed and to be 5 inches tall.
Yeah,
We should
hell
do
yeah.
like Mystery Stoner Theater, like Mystery Science
That's a good
Theater.
idea.
I'm not even. God damn it!
That'd be-
Someone's
that'd be
steal
pretty
my
easy to
idea.
do.
It'd be really easy to do.
Bring
Steal it.
everybody
It'd be
watch
funny.
it and then
We'll
go
do it
back and
better.
discuss it
We
later.
do it way better.
Kind of thing.
Well, we have to get like the rights to movies.
Oh man.
No, we
so
just
it's
can't
too bad to
profit
do it,
off of
though.
it. Fuck your money. I just want to.
We'll just post it somewhere else.
Yeah.
Twitter.
But thank you for your money and your generous donations, though. Hashtag Platoon 420.
Hashtag.
No, seriously, the old internet bills are about to be due. Please, you guys, if you got like 5 or 10 on it, throw it on down. I'm gonna get a new merch campaign out. I've not been lazy. I've been like, oh my God, what is going on? My entire world is changing because of a virus that has a 98% survival rate. Oh! But I still have weed, so that's good.
Keep in mind, don't eat or inject yourself with disinfectant, warns the FDA commissioner. This is an official release from the FDA. Our government has to tell Americans not to inject yourself with disinfectant on 4/20.
4/24.
How could this day be any? This couldn't be any better. It's 4/24/20.
I will remember this
forever
for the rest of my
Oh
life.
yeah, that was the day that Trump told everyone
To drink bleach.
to boof bleach.
Boof. Don't boof.
I can't. You guys.
Here's a true fact that you can go skate parking boof for like $1. Never go to Slab City. There you go.
Oh man.
On
that note.
On that note, I'm the commander-in-chief reminding you to pass joints, not judgment, because we're all in this together.
I don't know what it was at first.
Me and Zager out. Thanks for coming, Mac.
And Mac and Jim.
Shit. Mac and Jim. Jim and Mac.
Mac and
for
cheese.
having me.
And cheese.